We are back. This is still Matt.
This is still Katie, and this is still Movies and Mischief with Matt and Katie. If you're one of our regular viewers, then welcome back. We truly appreciate all your support. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the Funhouse. Katie and I are a married couple who love watching movies, and we love talking about the movies we watch. That's exactly what we do on this channel. We watch a movie, and then we literally turn right around, other side of the screen here, and we give you our unprepared, unfiltered opinion of said flick. We tell you what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, whether or not we think you should watch it, all that fun movie review stuff. Katie, what movie are we going to be talking about today?
Today's adventure was The Suicide Squad. There is some speculation in our house as to whether it should be Suicide Squad 2 or if it's just Suicide Squad Reboot. There are some repeat characters from the first movie. Margo Robbie, of course. Viola Davis. Courtney's in there. Who's Rick Flag?
Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman is in there. But then we have a brand new crew, aside from that. Will Smith's character is now the ever-scrumptious Idris Elba. My boyfriend Nathan Fillion is in this movie. Flula Borg is in this movie. Sylvester Stallone is in this movie.
I'm going to start getting a bit of a complex the way you keep talking about
whatever. Nathan Fillion is just you.
And Idris Elba.
Well, come on. Idris Elba is
and you have a weird thing about
scrummy.
Flula Borg.
Flula Borg is hilarious. But anyway, there's a whole new crew. Michael Rooker, it's a whole thing. So once again, Viola Davis has sent them off on this mission to take care of this secret government thing with the understanding that if they complete the mission, 10 years off their sentence. If not, the explosives in their head is going to boom their face off. So, what did you think about this movie, Matthew?
I absolutely loved it. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. I liked the original Suicide Squad, but I had a lot of problems with it. But this one, I just, it just goes to say James Gunn is one of the best directors out there. This is... Well, I'm not going to say one of the best directors, but he's the perfect director for this kind of film. And I thought it was a wonderful job. I was very happy to see them give Harley Quinn a little bit more in this movie, and they didn't treat her... I didn't like the way the character was treated in the first Suicide Squad.
With the ridiculous heels and the booty shorts.
Yeah, I really appreciated the booty shorts and the heels gone. But I got to tell you, the standout for me was it Sophia the Rat Girl? Mm-hmm. Her and, how do you say it, Malawi?
Not Malawi, that's
the shark dude.
I can't remember. He's the shark. He's
the shark
dude.
Those are the two standouts for me. In this entire, and this was a big cast, and there's a lot of popular names and familiar faces, but those two were the standouts for me, and that's just a testament to James Gunn's writing of this film too, to make those the two, almost, I don't want to say they're your point of focus throughout the film, but when they're there, I was looking at them, and they made Katie awe and gush over rats a couple times, which is not something that happens. I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. I thought the story was silly, but it was that comic book style of silly that I enjoyed. This was a lot of fun. I was not expecting the movie to be this fun. What about you?
Same. This is probably the most fun movie I have seen this year.
Okay.
It's definitely that campy side. Everything is over the top, but it absolutely worked. Just, there is so much humor in these that keep them going, but there are some genuine moments in it. There's a lot of daddy issues in this movie, I'm just going to say. But yes, when you can make me care more about a rat than several of the human beings around, you got me. I'm with you. The relationship between the woman who controls the rats and the shark was delicious. It was just...
It was cute.
So much.
It was heartwarming.
Adorable. And you really worried about them. And there were some very funny... early on you remember, oh, right, it's Gunn's movie, so these moments are going to happen. Don't get too attached to anybody, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was completely over the top. There's a lot of fun little things, like the thing that Quentin Tarantino does that frequently gets on my nerves, where he will put up chapter cards in his movie. Gunn does the same thing, but he does it as like smoke in the background or leaves on the ground telling you what's coming up next. And they're just more fun, and they fit better in this type of movie that is just a funny, non-stop, gory, bloody, frequently gross, but often hilarious at the same time kind of movie. I absolutely loved it. I'm with you about the first one. There's going to be 1,017 cosplay Harley Quinns over this movie. I'm telling you right now, because it is perfect. The first one I liked it okay. It was fun, but this is a whole different level. I had the same problems you did with the first one, and it just kind of never really felt super cohesive to me. And this one felt like a true ensemble,
well, and I think
melded movie. It felt finished. It felt like this is what it was meant to be all the way through.
Yeah, and there may be people in the comments that'll blast about this, but James Gunn brought an MCU touch to these DC films, because the comedy didn't feel forced.
Yeah.
And there was heart.
And just a few. John Cena's also in this movie. Peter freaking Capaldi is in this
movie.
And
I forgot about John. How did I forget about John Cena?
John Cena is
hilarious.
He needs to do these type of movies forever, because that's where a lot of that humor came from. There's a lot of kind of mine is bigger than yours between him and Idris Elba, and a lot of very kind of sarcastic humor, a lot of, oh my god, this dude's an idiot kind of humor. There's just different, and I think that's what helps this, that it wasn't a one note kind of thing. There were different styles of, you had sarcasm, dry humor, you had completely slapstick, insane. It
wasn't
really
as dark, because a lot of the movies a lot of the DC movies,
it was not.
They go dark.
Yeah.
And I could see this one when they start with the daddy issues that you were talking about. I was a little concerned.
And there is darkness in it. There is an entire enslaved kind of population.
But even then, they made it light.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah. There are hints of darker things, on the horizon for sure. But they never go down that.
So there's
your mom's name is Martha too. They don't ever fall into that trap.
I'm sure there's going to be people out there that think it's too funny.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's people there. Those dark superhero movies, comic book adaptions, they have a crowd, and I respect that.
And they can work. They can absolutely work. This is why I loved all of the Dark Knight. I could not care less about Batman until Dark Knight, because they did go down the path that they should have been on in the first place. There wasn't any campy, goofy villains. They were genuine. I love Joker I know it's not really a comic book movie, but super duper dark, and loved it. But I don't think this collection of people and this kind of story needs to be like that.
Well, and I feel like with this one, James Gunn was more familiar with the source material than, I think it was Ayers directed the first one. I don't know if he was familiar with the source material or not, but James Gunn is a comic book guy, and he knows comic books. I mean, if you look at all of his movies he's done, they all have a touch of comic book to them. So I just think this was the right movie at the right time. I think people...
It's a release.
It is a release. I think people at this point in time, with the way things are going in this country in particular,
need anything super serious
we
right
need
now.
something fun, and you don't have to think about this one. You don't have to.
Certainly familiar with the anti-hero by this point, and
it's a fun movie.
It really is.
Katie and I watched it on HBO. But I would definitely say this one is worth seeing if you're willing to brave the theater masses, this one is worth seeing in a movie
This
theater.
This would have been fun in the theater because I suspect it's one of those movies that's going to have a whole lot of audience reaction while you're there.
Yeah.
That just kind of amps up. It's like when we went to see Austin Powers, the first Austin Powers. The audience was so into it that it just totally amps up.
Yeah.
That whole experience. Anyway, this is definitely one. Yeah.
So there you go. The Suicide Squad might be a sequel. Might just be a reboot.
We don't know.
I think that's up to your own personal interpretation. But whatever it is, Katie and I really enjoyed it. We got a kick out of it, and we think you guys will too. So yeah, don't forget to please subscribe, comment, click the bell, share the video. Just come on board, folks.
Let us know what you want to see next.
Yeah.
We would really love it if you spread the word. We're trying to grow our audience a little bit.
We're growing. We're growing. We're trying to. We're trying to.
The bigger the audience gets, the more reviews we're going to do. So
let us know what movies you'd like to see. There's a lot of movies that Katie hasn't seen.
This is true. We might be adding a feature of, make Katie watch a movie she hasn't seen.
So if there's anything out there you want to see if she saw it, if she hasn't seen it, I'll make her watch it.
Just for you.
And I might not have seen it too. But anyways, we're going off on a tangent here. So there you go, guys. The Suicide Squad, currently streaming on HBO Max, or you can see it in theaters. Definitely worth a look.
It's a hoot.
Go see it. It's tons of fun. And with that, I'm going to remind you to seek the positive in your life, and we will talk to you.
You didn't have any final thoughts? We keep forgetting final thoughts. We're supposed to always do final thoughts.
Katie, what are your final thoughts on Suicide Squad?
My final thoughts are your friends can come from unexpected places. Welcome them if they are some person that is going to bring some value to your life. Accept them. Take care of them. Take care of each other. What are your final thoughts?
Just have fun. Just have fun watching this movie. Movies do not always have to be some deep moral...
they don't.
Yeah, you don't have to dig deep and find out your moral compass, anything like that.
There is a little bit of a morality.
There is a little bit of morality here,
but it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
It can just be fun.
This is one of those movies that I think you just shut your brain off, forget about the week you had, and just sit back and enjoy watching Margot Robbie kick some serious butt. She did. I do want to mention her fight scene was wonderful.
Fantastic.
There's a fight scene in this film that there's actually two. There was one that had some very ingenious camera stuff going on.
Yeah.
Rock on James Gunn.
Yeah.
And then Margot Robbie's little moment to shine with her choreography was freaking fabulous.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that scene. So, all right, so we're going to stop talking now.
All.
Thank you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye.